Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful fucking mouth. And if you're not into that kind of language or weird shit, then this is probably not the place for you. So feel free to X out the video here. No harm, no foul. I'll remember our time fondly. And if you want to jump straight to the review and the swatches and all that good shit, I will leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. I had to record that intro about 75 fucking times already because I feel like I just sound sicker and sicker and sicker and I just want to cough up all the shit that's in my throat. Gross, right. I wasn't actually gonna do a video today because we just got home from Maine. I really just wanted to rest and relax today, but I was like, oh, I received 5 fucking packages in the mail. I should review one of these fucking palettes. So with that said, the reason why you clicked this video obviously is for the ABH Sultry palette, but I did get 4 other palettes as well. One being the Makeup Maniacs Never Canceled palette, which I'm super excited about because it's a new indie brand that I found this year that I absolutely adore. The Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette that I've been eyeing ever since it came out. Didn't pull the trigger, and now I did, so I hope I did not regret that choice. The LA Splash Cosmetics Classic Horror palette, which I'm so excited about because it's Halloween after all. And last but not least, the Kat Von D Fetish palette. Now, I'm gonna say right here, I bought this palette before that whole weird racist fucking photo came out, so yep. Why is everybody so fucking racist? God damn it. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, well, first and foremost, I am definitely reviewing this fetish palette on this channel, and I do want to say, and not to steal a line from Pop Lux here on YouTube, but all my reviews are always about the makeup and never about the people behind it. I just want to, you know, big old disclaimer about that. However, I understand if you don't want to watch it because it is a very sensitive topic, racism in general. If you don't want to watch it, that's completely fine, and I get that. I completely understand. Now, what I want to ask you guys is, what do you want to see next? I don't have any sort of particular order with these guys. I don't know, just let me know what you want to see next, and I will be more than happy to film that for you and show that to you. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to being sick. I feel fucking awful, and I want to crawl in a cave and die. That's exactly how I feel. And the reason why I got sick, obviously, was because of the fucking weather. In New York, it's 80, in Maine, it's 50. You do the math. So I am kind of dying right now. I picked a really good time to be sick. In any case, I actually really don't have anything like, actually no, I take that back. I do have one little weird thing that did happen when I went to Maine. My vacation was super awesome. It was super chill. Everybody was very nice, like too nice, to the point where I was skeptic of them because a New Yorker, I'm not used to people being nice to me. I'm used to people telling me to go fuck myself. So when someone actually is like, oh, how are you today? I'm like, you know what I mean? So I found that everyone that I encountered in Maine was a complete sweetheart. And I look forward to visiting again soon. So yeah, so you know what's really gross? Rest stops. And I don't know where exactly I was. It was either somewhere between Connecticut or Massachusetts. I went into the bathroom, and the bathroom's pretty big. So on the left side, there are a bunch of stalls, and on the right side, there's a bunch of stalls, and split in the middle are like all the sinks and the mirrors and stuff like that. So it didn't look like anybody was on the right side of the bathroom. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm walking towards the right side of the bathroom. I was about to go into the first stall, and the door was open, but there happened to be somebody in there. And it was a woman. It was a woman just fucking standing there, not looking at me, looking straight down, but holding her vagina like a sandwich. Can I use anything to show you how she was holding it? I'm gonna use this ghost as a prop here. Literally holding it like this. So she's looking down, staring at it, holding it like this. I, of course, look up and then look down immediately because I'm like, what are you doing? And I just went, ah! Like, I freaked out because I was like, why are you holding your vagina with the door open? Like, I don't want any of that. No. Bad woman. I literally like averted my eyes. I said, I'm sorry. And I walked all the way down to like the last stall on the right. I was going to the bathroom and I was saying to myself, fuck, how am I gonna get out of here? So I waited about a good 5 fucking minutes before I decided to like leave the stall, and I walked past and I literally just kept holding my hand to my head like this because I didn't want to see her again. Think of like Shining. If you've ever seen The Shining, and like when the woman comes out of the shower and it's just like that old, like that, I mean, she didn't look that gross, but it was just like, that's what it kind of reminded me of. And I was like, ugh, ugh. Okay, anyway, so luckily on my way out she was not there, so I didn't have to see her twice, which was great. I didn't see her by the sink or anything, so we can only hope that she was washing her hands that day. Ugh. So then I just washed my hands, left that rest stop, and pretended that never happened. So I kind of begged the question, why are people in rest stops really fucking weird? Like, is it just a weirdo magnet, or like does all common sense just leave your body when you enter a rest stop? I don't know. So yeah, let me know down below what's your weird rest stop story if you have one. I really fucking hope you do, because all this weird shit can't be only happening to me. I won't allow it anymore. I need to spread the love of weirdness to all you guys, because this lady holding her vagina like a ham sandwich was enough for me to be like, I'm good. I'm good. I actually don't want any food now. I'm all set. Thanks. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the EDH Sultry eyeshadow palette, which is from their 2018 holiday collection. So let me actually read you a little bit about the palette before we jump into the overall review. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry eyeshadow palette is an essential smoky eyeshadow palette that features 14 shades ranging from golden mattes to bronzy metallics. Create an endless array of holiday looks with this collection of cool tone shadows, including 2 cult favorite shades and 12 all new shades. Now, this guy is going to set you back a whopping $45. Their normal palettes range for $42, so it's a whopping $3 more. You're getting 2 cult classic shades and 12 new ones. I know Noir, for example, is the shade that is, I believe, in in the Soft Glam palette. However, I don't know what the other one is. So if you know it down below, let me know. I have all her palettes laid out, and maybe unless I'm stupid, I couldn't figure it out. Granted, it could be an eyeshadow single, and I don't have any of this bitch's eyeshadow single, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But anyway, if you are coming to this brand having a lot of her eyeshadows, you're only really getting 12 eyeshadows because essentially you already have 2 of them in your current collection. That's if you have the other second one that I just don't know what the fuck it's called, but whatever. This packaging, I'm a little happy that they veered off from the weird stuffed animal creation. However, what I'm not excited about is the amount of fucking glitter that comes on your fucking hands when you touch this fucking palette, and I hate it. I fucking hate it, and it makes me so annoyed. I knew the packaging was going to be sparkly. I just didn't realize that there was going to be transfer, and that's what bothers the shit out of me. It's not as bad as the Too Faced Now and Then a Now palette, but it's still not great. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're very sensitive about that, you're also paying for glitter that's going to be living in your house for years to come. So when you open her up, it's like every other standard ABH palette. Looks exactly the same. And you know what? Maybe I'm weird, but for the holiday palettes, like maybe you could have, I don't know, jazzed up the inside just a little bit. Make it a little bit different, but whatever. I'm like nitpicking at this point. You get a beautiful mirror and you get 14 shades. And again, the double-ended brush that I mentioned a moment ago. Now, I wasn't going to pick up this palette initially because I looked at it and went, meh, I already have all these colors. Like I felt like I really did. The more I started looking at this palette, I was really kind of honed into Cyborg, Slate, Bloom, and Birch. So it's kind of these 4 shades, because all these shades over here, I feel like I have them in every other fucking palette. So for today's 2 looks, what I tried to do was kind of steer clear of this side of the palette. Maybe I touched a little bit over here, but I really wanted to kind of use more of these colors that I haven't seen in ABH eyeshadow palettes, with the exception of Birch. I feel like that color is in Soft Glam and kind of the Norvina palette. So that was my inspiration for the 2 looks that I created today. This is a good palette. It is a very solid palette. It speaks true to every other ABH palette. They do blend out lovely, with the exception of Subculture, because nobody talks about Subculture, and that shit show of a mess. But this blends out perfectly. I had no problem with packing it on, blending it out, building up color. I had no issue with any of that. It's also incredibly pigmented. I loved working with these eyeshadows. However, what I didn't like about them is that there is a lot of fucking fallout. So not only is there a lot of kick up in the pan, like an embarrassingly amount of kick up, which is so fucking common for ABH at this point that it's just, I'm not even mad about it anymore. It's just expected. I also get a lot of fallout, and it's not easy to clean fallout. It's very difficult fallout, where if you swipe it away, you still have a cast of whatever the fuck color you were using. So kind of keep that in mind, that you should really do your eye makeup first and then do the rest of your base. Unless you are incredibly precise and use the teeniest, tiniest fucking brushes, like a Barbie-sized brush, and you have so much precision and control, then yeah, go for it. But I know for me and these goddamn hoofs I have, yeah, it ain't just gonna happen, sweetheart. So I need to do this first and then the rest of my base. Otherwise, I'm just gonna look like a fucking mess. The shimmer shades are weird. They're very chunky, like chunky. And I feel like they're reminiscent of the Norvina palette in that regard. I used glitter glue on one side and I used setting spray on the other, and they both still had chunks and fallout and all that good shit. So just kind of a heads up there. The other thing I was kind of disappointed in this palette was the color Cyborg. I really wanted to like the shade. I think overall I like what I did with it, but when I first applied it, it wasn't very pigmented. It just kind of seemed like a very light wash of silver. So when I first put it on, I had a crazy amount of chunky weird fallout, and the color was barely there. I used a setting spray and then the color kind of appeared a little bit more, but still it was very light. It's not until I added the color Pearl that I was able to get it to where I wanted it to be. However, I feel like I have a silver in last year's Kat Von D eyeshadow palette that works so much better, and I don't have to use 2 different eyeshadows to create that look. So that kind of bummed me out that I had to do that. Other than that, now the question is, should you buy it? That's kind of really on you. While I do like this palette a lot, I don't necessarily think I needed to go out and buy it. A lot of these eyeshadow colors are not really revolutionary. They're not really a game changer. And even with this one little pop of pink here, meh, like you don't really need to fucking go out and buy this, because I guarantee you that you have all those shades, if not a slight variation of one of them, in your current collection. So do you really need to pony up $45 for it? No, not at all. If you do not own any ABH eyeshadow palettes, I don't necessarily think that this should be your first eyeshadow palette per se. The 2 that I can recommend to you would be either the Norvina palette or the Soft Glam. Maybe the Soft Glam more in the sense that you can really achieve everyday looks, beautiful smoky eyes, good for work, good for whatever with this palette. And it's also kind of very similar to the Sultry palette. Or you can do the Norvina palette that have a little bit more of a pop of color, but also kind of like the bastard child of the Soft Glam and Sultry palette. So I say either get Soft Glam or Norvina. You don't really need to waste your time with this one. If you are a hoarder like me and you don't learn, then yeah, go get it. I do not think you'll be disappointed. Yes, there's a little bit of glitter fallout, and yes, there's a lot of fallout on your face, so just kind of keep that in mind. But overall, you're gonna have a good time with this palette. So yeah. Alright, I'm gonna end the video here because I feel like my head is trying to leave my body. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So I will see you little pumpkins later. Bye.